On March 11th of 2011, a powerful 9.1 magnitude earthquake struck off the coast of northeastern Japan. That same earthquake triggered the devastating tsunami wave that overwhelmed coastal communities within minutes and claimed the lives of nearly 20,000 people. Deeper inland, locals felt the ground shaking beneath their feet. That's when water began seeping through cracks in the ground, but it had nothing to do with the tsunami.
Oh! Oh my God! Wow, that's crazy! I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before. Wow. It's literally coming up from the ground too. You better get out of there. Shoot. Oh, that's wild.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Oh, that's
The water
wild.
you see isn't coming from a burst pipe either. It's a phenomenon known as liquefaction, and you'll typically see it during strong earthquakes. It usually happens in areas near rivers or large bodies of water, like the ocean, where the groundwater table is higher than in landlocked areas. This simple demonstration by the California Geological Survey helps explain. When the earthquake starts, it forces groundwater to the surface, causing it to leak through whatever openings it can find. Meanwhile, surface buildings can collapse due to weak foundations, while objects buried below will rise with the water. While the liquefaction in this clip seems harmless, it can be devastating in heavily saturated areas. For example, take this image from the 1964 Niigata earthquake in Japan. Ground liquefaction literally caused the building to topple over as the ground beneath basically turned into mud. Landslides can strike anywhere at any time. Nobody knows that better than the people of Central Asia, where the mountainous landscape and pockets of relentless rain make them prone to massive landslides and rock slides. One such slide occurred on September 14th of 2020 in the hills of Kyrgyzstan. A local man on a nearby road kept his camera rolling as a mountain literally crumbled before his eyes.
I would have been shitting myself. Damn. All you can do is shake your head, bro. This is crazy.
According to rough estimates, between 8 and 900,000 cubic meters of rock were displaced during the landslide. It snapped trees and power poles like toothpicks and quickly filled a nearby river. It also blocked one of the local roads, which allegedly led to one of the region's busiest coal fields. Thankfully, nobody was hurt, and local agencies quickly got to work on building a new road to circumvent the debris pile. How hot does it get in the Middle East? Apparently, hot enough to dry the sea. It's unclear when this next video was captured. However, if you're standing in the right place at the right time along the coastline of Kuwait, you may just see something like this.
جزر على مد النظر.
Damn.
وينك يا فيروز تغني شايف البحر شو كبير كبر البحر بحبك ما عاد في بحر هذا يعني انه خلص الحب.
It is wild to think that at one time there was water here. Now it's a barren landscape that stretches for miles toward the horizon. Kuwait has a hyper-arid desert climate, with summertime temperatures reaching roughly 113 degrees Fahrenheit. You'd think that the
Shit.
hottest temperature ever recorded on Earth would be in this region, but you'd be wrong. The record belongs to Death Valley in eastern California,
Yep.
when the air temperature soared to a staggering 134 degrees Fahrenheit on July 10th of 1919. Fittingly, it was recorded in the small town of Furnace Creek.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's why it's called Death Valley.
Locals in the Filipino city
Heard
of
about that.
Manaway were going about their day when a strange phenomenon on the horizon caught their attention. Was it an optical illusion, or did the sky really not know what time of day it was?
What the hell? What is this?
What?
Feel like there's no filter, guys. Just a literal line right there. What is that? I've never seen anything like this before. Wow.
What the hell is that?
Lagi ko lagi kuan. Lutoy. What is that? Is this something natural? I've never seen this.
Metadata from the cameraman's phone proved that he wasn't using a filter. What he was
Wow, that's
recording was
crazy.
a very real phenomenon known as the Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone, not to be confused with the TV show, is the
Fitting.
moving line that divides the daylit side and the night side of Earth. Also known as the Terminator, it makes more sense when you look at Earth from space. It's unclear how our cameraman could see the Twilight Zone from the ground. Perhaps he was just standing in the right place at the right time. It was February 23rd of 2021. Drivers on a highway outside of Buenos Aires, Argentina, thought that they were heading into the middle of a tornado outbreak. That's when bugs started bouncing off their windshields, and they soon realized that the spinning vortexes in the area were actually thousands of insects.
Oh, hell no. You got that.
Cada vez es más grande. Como que se le va chupando lo otro más chiquito.
Bro, that's weird.
Qué locura, ¿eh?
No.
All those are insects.
¿Quién va a creer que estos son mosquitos?
It looks like smoke.
Dios, la Virgen. Mira que. Uy, mirá, se parece que sale un chorro de.
Dios mío. Cerrá acá abajo, no sé qué entre. Está cerrado el cosito, ¿no?
No, pero están ahí. Las rueditas, ¿qué
¿Viste?
dicen? No, ya está.
Allegedly, these locals drove through an outbreak of mosquito tornadoes. However, we couldn't find any additional information to verify that claim. All we know is that it occurred after a period of heavy rain and high temperatures. A similar scene unfolded in Pune, India, during which thousands of Chironomus larvae formed rotating clusters over the sky. While they are technically related to mosquitoes, Chironomus pose no threat to humans or animals. When they hatch, they form these tornado-like columns in the sky, and then they venture far and wide as they mature to adulthood. It's unclear if that's what happened in
Bruh,
Argentina,
that's
but
weird.
it
That's
would make
weird,
sense.
man.
After all, rain plus heat typically equals more bugs. It was May 2nd of 2026. A guided paddleboat tour had just started on the Hongshui River in Guangxi, China. That's when the weather suddenly turned, and the tour group found itself trapped in the middle of a fierce rainstorm. It was all fun and games until the storm picked up and visibility dropped to near zero. That's when the cable that kept the tour guide connected to his guests suddenly snapped. Look closely, and you'll see the moment when sheer terror washes over his face.
Damn! Damn! Yeah, look at him. Yeah, it's not fun and games no more. See, that's why you wouldn't catch me nowhere near, nowhere near the water. Especially not in no fucking kayak. Hell no. Hell no. Dog, that shit. That's scary. That really is scary. You see him when his face changed, he was like, wait, what? Oh shit. Oh shit. Dog, are you kidding me? I see y'all people like the adventurous things, y'all be out that crazy. Not me. It would be over for me, like, cause I can't swim, so I'd be fucked. Hell nah. Well, at least they got a boat out there.
Thankfully, a riverboat was nearby in case any of the stranded tourists
Yeah.
needed help. While the
Yeah.
storm was scary, it didn't pose any real danger as long as everyone remained calm. It's unlikely that the tour group knew this storm was coming. Had they seen something
You can
like
see it
this on the
coming, too.
radar, the guide
Like-
probably wouldn't have taken a dozen inexperienced paddleboarders out on
Oh,
the water.
paddleboarders, my
They
bad.
may have been following their tour guide, but Mother Nature was still calling the shots.
I said a kayak. But no, yeah, paddle boards, whatever.
was born to
I still wouldn't be out there. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I said kayak. Yeah, them paddleboard things. Nah, either or. I would not be out there.
Kheda village is a small Himalayan community in the mountainous region of Uttarakhand, India. On June 2nd of 2019, after a freak cloudburst storm, locals watched in horror as torrents raced down the mountain and instantly flooded the riverbed.
भयंकर हो गया था
ओ बाप रे ये क्या हो गया
बादल फट गए कहीं
हां नहीं बादल ये तो नहीं फैशन अच्छा वो यही कह रहे थे
बाप रे कितना कहीं नुकसान ना हो गया हो यार
मम्मा ये लो
बहुत तगड़ा हो गया
ये तो डूब गया एक यार कोई नदी में नहा रही थी ओ एक पैर डॉटी बाप
वो बाप रे कितना तगड़ा इसमें तो आदमी बचता भी नहीं होगा पानी बढ़ता ही जा रहा है कितना पानी बढ़ गया देखो
ये साफ नदी ना ये जो गंदी नदी है
That's crazy.
अरे मम्मा अरे कुंजा की ताई है वो कुंजा की ताई मम्मा मम्मा नीचे चलो
According to the locals, things were peaceful before the flood came through. It caught many of them off guard. Some lost their homes, while a few
Damn.
farmers suffered heavy losses to their cattle.
Ugh.
Disaster management crews were quickly dispatched to the area. However, they didn't arrive until after dark, which made relief work difficult until the following morning. Kuchpura, India is a small farming community in the northern state of Haryana. On July 14th of 2021, several locals were forced to watch their footing as the ground around them began to shift. Were they sinking, or was everything around them simply getting taller?
जमीन किस तरह उठने लग रही भाई ये देखो भाई जमीन उठने लग रही है अपने आप ये देखो भाई नया तजुर्बा जमीन का अपने आप नया तजुर्बा मेरे भाई
What?
देख बार जब पीछे हो ले कहीं कहीं तो भाई ना भाई
What?
यू क्या विक्की कभी जमीन की जगह जा रहे विक्की ऊपर बग जा ठंड रही है देखे उठ गया और भी एला तेरी बाल क्या नुम्मा जो भाई नुम्मा पानी क्या मैं फोन ना खा ली देखो मेरे भाई देख पानी पड़ेगा भाई नीचे
It's just it looks weird. Like
धरती पटल है देख कमाल है देख कितना पटल भाई अपने आप ही जमीन उठने रही पता नहीं भोलेनाथ ने क्या कर दिया जमीन ये तो भोले को जान दे दो नहीं उठावेगा
This was not an act of God, and it wasn't Mother Nature reshaping the Earth's surface. This event was actually the result of bad farming. You see, several weeks prior, a farmer had dug roughly 10 feet into the ground and filled the cavity with rice husk ashes. Then he planted new rice paddies on top, hoping the husks below would improve his yield. Then heavy rains struck the area on July 13th. Water penetrated the buried material, and the resulting pressure caused the ground to inflate like a balloon. It was November 22nd of 2020. Locals in the northern Chinese city of Mohua in Heilongjiang province were walking across a frozen lake when they noticed something strange in the water. These white discs were all over the place. They seemed to rise from the black depths, but stopped as they neared the frozen surface. What they were looking at were trapped pockets of methane gas produced by decaying plant matter at the bottom of the lake. When temperatures dropped below 0 degrees Fahrenheit, the gas bubbles froze in place. Of course,
Oh,
these
shit.
guys were never just going to leave them like that.
我操，漏了个，别动，那个快配合。
啊，行了，来，哎呦操，着了，真着了！
哎我操，终于点着了！
真神奇！
看看，看这泡啊，着了着了着了着了！冰泡壶啊是沼气。是沼气啊！
It sounds crazy, but flammable ice may actually become a future energy source. In fact, China has been working to extract frozen methane for the past decade. 1 cubic meter of flammable ice, also known as methane hydrate, can actually release 160 cubic meters of methane gas, making it a highly energy-intensive fuel, according to scientists. They believe methane hydrate can change the future of energy as the world's last great source of carbon-based fuel.
Oh shit.
On July 29th of 2024, heavy rainfall in northern Turkey triggered several devastating landslides across the region. A local farmer named Adem was tending his garden when one of those landslides struck. When he looked up, he could have sworn that Mother Nature was trying to steal his hazelnut tree.
Oh wow. He's like, man, this is mine, homie. It's mine. Damn. Damn, it's really taking that. It's really taking that tree though.
Adem couldn't believe his eyes as the tree slid away without falling over. However, the landslide didn't last very long, and the tree eventually toppled once it lost its forward momentum. As for how this happened, Adem believes it began when the retaining wall about his home collapsed. Mud and debris began pouring through, creating a small landslide that led down from his orchard of hazelnut trees.
Damn. That's wild.
You're sailing off the coast of Orange County, California, when you see hundreds of tiny splashes in the water up ahead. You get closer, only to realize that you're sailing alongside a superpod of dolphins.
Ah. Damn. That's dope. That's dope though. Hey Chris, appreciate that follow, man. Thank you. Them dolphins rolling deep. Now that's a sight to see right there, though.
Ironically, the education manager for Newport Landing Whale Watching was on the boat when the dolphins came through. She described it as some of the largest aggregations of dolphins our captains have seen in years. The superpod was at least 1.5 miles wide and may have contained upwards of 2,000 dolphins. Marine
Rolling
biologists
deep.
aren't too sure why dolphins gather in superpods like this. Their best guess is that it's to escape from nearby predators like sharks
That could
and
be a
killer
thing.
whales. They might also group up like this when there's a plentiful food source nearby. In other words, they're either looking for food or trying not to become the food. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more
makes
just
sense.
like it, be sure to click the link on screen now. With that, thank you all for watching, and we hope to see you in the next one.